So scrolling through Twitter today, and of course, California is in the news again. I mean, the state usually is. I really love California. You know, I was born here, but this state is just really, I don't know. It's changing. I mean, I ask people that have lived here longer than I've been alive, and even they're saying the state's changed. The people are different. Just things are different here, and a lot of people don't like where this is going. I for one don't like where this state is going. I'm gonna highlight a few stories here today, just breaking down just the path that California is on and why I don't agree with it. If you like my videos, if you like my content, feel free to like, subscribe, share the video, please. You know, get the word out there. I'm trying to grow the channel and stuff like that. I know I'm not uploading as much as I would like to, but I don't want to just throw out a video just to throw out a video. When I talk about something or make a video, I want it to be I don't know. I want it to be something I can actually talk about and not get bored with. I don't want to just talk just to talk. I don't want to make a video just to make a video. Like for example, today I saw California in the news, and it's actually something I care about. So I wanted to take a moment to make a video and talk about it. But yeah, follow me on Twitter, Tyler Today. Follow me, share the video and everything. Greatly appreciate it. And let's get into it. So what do I want to talk about here? Well, as you can see on screen here, it says California may require fast food chains to pay their workers more. McDonald's says it hurts everyone. Now, by McDonald's says, they mean the president of McDonald's, the company. And the article here just talks about how basically California's trying to, it looks like they're talking about instating a minimum wage of $22 an hour for certain fast food chains. I'm assuming by certain ones they mean like the bigger ones, like the Burger Kings, the McDonald's, the Carl's Jr.'s and stuff like that. But it doesn't seem like they're going to be taking into account small business owners that use it as a franchise who aren't directly related to the company but use it as a franchise. It's like a I don't know exactly how it works, but it's a franchise. You know, they're not directly related to the company. But I know plenty of Subways around where I live. They do that. They're not directly tied to the company, but they own a Subway and they get to use all the menus and stuff like that. But they're not a part of the company technically. It's separate. You can do that with McDonald's as well, and there's tons of other businesses you can franchise off of, but they want to instate a $22 an hour minimum wage, even for those people, even for the small businesses. Now, regardless, I don't think anywhere should have a $22 minimum wage. And this argument has been brought up more and more recently. And, you know, first it was $15. Let's raise it to $15. Well, here we are. We're at $15. Next year, it'll be $15.50. At what point is it going to be like, okay, yeah, I think everyone's getting enough money? It'll never be. And the reason it'll never be is because as we raise the minimum wage, we aren't decreasing taxes. We aren't decreasing the amount the government's taking from people. And these businesses still want to get that profit margin that they're always getting. They expect a certain amount of profit, a certain percentage of profit. And when they have to account for it, they start raising prices in other areas because they have to. Because you're not going to take that cut to your business. That's just, why would you do that? You would be hurting yourself. They'd be hurting the business. You have to raise prices. A lot of people act like that these companies just have millions of dollars, just hundreds of thousands, and they should be paying their people more. Now, that may be the case for a lot of businesses, for a lot of really rich people. But how do you expect the mom and pop McDonald's down the street to pay $22 an hour when they can barely afford their own bills? Especially in California, where the taxes here are just absolutely insane. The cost of living's insane. Inflation's getting worse and worse. Gas prices are ridiculous. You can't expect that from people in California, especially smaller business owners, let alone the bigger business owners. It does not help anybody, and that's what the McDonald's president is saying here. It doesn't help anybody. You know what would actually help people? if we got rid of a lot of the taxes that they're not using anyway, the taxes that they're throwing away. We don't know where it's going. I mean, ask Gavin Newsom about the we were supposed to have a giant, like, what do you call it, like a water storage facility. We had like 600 million or like $6 billion set aside for that, and that money's just gone. The project never started. Like, where are our taxes going in California? And here they are raising the minimum wage. What happens when they raise the minimum wage? Oh, you're getting $22 an hour, but now they're taking more from your each paycheck, and they're getting more money. The state is getting more money. We are left holding the bag because you're getting $22 an hour. That's good for like a month, right? And then all of a sudden, all the prices go up. Now that $22, yeah, now you have $22, but what used to be $5 is now $7 or $8. I mean, I work at a grocery store. I see this every day. With inflation going on, the prices go up almost weekly. It's ridiculous. And in the state of California, you know, crime is just rampant at this point. So while you're sitting here like, holy shit, prices are going up, you see other people just walking out stealing shit like it's nobody's business, and they're getting away with it. What do we get? We get stuck holding the bag while these people get away with crimes, and the state's talking about, you know, continuing to tax us and raise the minimum wage and shit like that. Here, I gotta deal with the dogs. One moment, I'll continue the video. So that's what happens when you have a ton of dogs in the house. They like to bark at random things, especially when people in the house don't know how to train them properly. Not talking about myself. Anyway, so like I was talking about, yeah, California's just getting worse and worse. And, you know, there's not a whole lot more I can say on the minimum wage issue. It's just ridiculous. There shouldn't be a minimum wage for anything. The fact that someone gets paid $15 an hour to go get carts out of a parking lot or to go flip burgers or something like that, that's utterly ridiculous. Why are you getting paid that? I mean, I understand that, you know, the cost of living here is ridiculous, right? So you do need that money, but at the same time, the cost of living wouldn't be so bad if these people in government started putting forward bills that made sense. They stopped taxing gas to the point that they are. We were what, $2-3 above the national average because of the taxes that we have on gas, and that's because people keep voting for this shit. And it's just ridiculous. It really is. Get rid of the fucking federal income tax. Get rid of a lot of these taxes, and a lot of people will be better off. And you know what we'll see from that? You know what we would see from a removal of minimum wage and a removal of a lot of taxes on these companies? We would see an increase of wages and an increase of buying power. It's not about how much you're getting every hour. It's about how much what you're getting an hour is worth. That's what it should be about. It shouldn't be, oh, I'm getting 15. Oh, I'm getting $20. Who fucking cares if that $20 is worth $2 in 5 years? It ended up being pointless. And now let me show you some of these other stories that California wants to talk about. So California also wants to regulate how much electricity people are having. Now, I know I just saw recently a Tim Pool video. There's now companies that are in control of thermostats and stuff like that, and they're literally barring people from changing their thermostat because of the energy crisis right now. So we have an energy crisis in California, and all the taxes that we spend, you know, we're a very tax heavy state. And what are they doing with our taxes to support the power grid? They talk about getting us off green energy and stuff like that. What is that doing for us? They're talking about closing down nuclear power plants. They're talking about getting rid of fossil fuel energy. How are you going to do that? How are we going to be able to live without that stuff? The sun isn't always shining and the wind isn't always blowing, and we don't have the technology to store the solar energy or the wind energy. We don't have the battery capacity, the battery technology. We don't have that stuff yet. We need fossil energy, and you know, for the foreseeable future, until we make alternative energies that actually are viable. We need this stuff. You can't just be like, oh, gone with the wind. Not that it would matter anyway, because China and India are the world's largest polluters. Any dent we make in our emissions is going to be dwarfed by those other countries. So it's ultimately pointless. What we need to do is focus on creating the technologies that'll be better and cleaner instead of getting rid of the technologies we currently have that are dirty. I will admit global warming is a problem, but how much of a problem is it really? We can make things like graphene, and graphene, the creation of it is literally pulling carbon out of the air, thus reducing greenhouse gas. We can reverse climate change via technology. Humans are horrible at stopping doing things. Try to tell someone to stop smoking or stop doing literally anything. It's hard for them to stop doing that. You know what is easy? It's easier for people to adapt to situations. It's easy for us to adapt to the mistakes that we've made. So as the mistake that humanity is making in today's world is we are polluting the earth, but we will adapt and we will overcome it eventually through technology. And that's just a fact. But we're not going to get there if we're kneecapping ourselves by shutting off a bunch of these, sources of energy. So they're talking about conserving energy because of the heat wave. A lot of people are going to be using their AC and stuff like that, which of course, it's 100 degrees out. Like you need the air conditioning, especially if you don't have like a pool or you're not near a beach or anything. You need that stuff. But California, meanwhile, while the power grid is being stressed, and they're talking about how stressed it is and how we shouldn't be using things 4 to 9 p.m. and stuff like that. Meanwhile, while that's happening, they just passed a bill they have just passed a bill to ban new gas car sales by 2035. What does it say here? So this is by CNN. It says California air regulators voted Thursday to approve stringent rules that would ban the sale of new gasoline cars by 2035 and set interim targets to phase the cars out. The measure is a historic one in the United States and would be one of the first such bans worldwide. It has major implications for the U.S. car market, given how California's economy is, and several states are expected to implement similar rules. The board's new rules would also set interim quotas for zero-emission vehicles. Absolute fucking bullshit. I keep seeing this. Someone please explain to me how the creation of an electric vehicle puts off zero emissions. How does driving a electric vehicle set off zero emissions? The answer is it doesn't. Because when you're driving around and you're constantly having to stop to charge your car, where's that electricity coming from? It's not coming from solar panels. It's not coming from the wind energy. It's coming from the coal plant down the street. It's coming from nuclear powers. It's coming from all sources. It's not clean energy, and that's not even accounting for the stuff that it takes to make the batteries, all the materials needed to make the car. You're not putting out zero emissions. You're outsourcing your emissions. Oh, we're not putting off the emissions. It's not us. It's a zero emission vehicle. What about everything you did to get the vehicle and everything you do to keep it running? All of those create emissions in the process. Now, are the emissions less than gas cars? Sure. Yes, it is. But how are people going to afford these electric vehicles when everybody switches to an electric vehicle in 10 years? How are you going to be able to support the power grid? Meanwhile, while you talk about while we're talking about we're trying to increase the energy supplies. This is straight from Gavin Newsom. Governor, sorry, I cannot speak today. Apparently, Governor Gavin Newsom. He talks about increasing energy supplies. Nowhere in this does he talk about increasing clean energy supplies. He actually does mention it here and there. A transition to clean energy has put an estimated 4,000 megawatts on the grid. Cool. Who fucking cares? That's only 4,000 megawatts. Meanwhile, they're talking about getting rid of a nuclear power plant that puts out 18,000 megawatts. So while you put 14,000 out, you want to take 18,000 away in the middle of an energy crisis. California does not make sense lately. It really doesn't, between the laws letting people get away with crime and this stupid bullshit with cars and energy grids. California is fucking crumbling. Like, we need better leadership in this state. We need people to start realizing what the fuck is going on. I mean, just the other month, we had we have people like every day at where I work trying to walk out with just carts full of shit, just trying to steal it, just hundreds of, thousands of dollars of stuff. We had someone who tried to walk out with almost $3,000 of goods. Well, sorry, not 3,000. She had $1,000 or $1,500. So $1,000 or $1,500 worth of goods, and my manager tried to call the cops on her, and they said, "We're not coming unless she has $3,000." How ridiculous is that? $3,000? I mean, come on. One moment. Sorry about that. The dogs get really excited when people come home. I've had to stop multiple times in other videos. Anyway, so he's talking about shutting down a nuclear power plant that he's now talking about keeping open because the nuclear power plant makes up at a minimum. It makes up, where is it? Created at least 6% of California's power last year. So he's talking about getting in the middle of a power crisis. And let me give the dates for all of these. So this is May 6th, 2022. So this is just like 2-3 months ago. So 2-3 months ago. Now here we are, just today. We now have from it was probably like 7 hours ago if I refresh the page, California residents to save electricity. So in the middle of this, and then here we have from, what was this, 2 weeks ago? Not that one. This is from August 25th. This is from like not even 2 weeks ago. This is from a week ago. So meanwhile, they want to ban gas cars, and then we're in the middle of an energy crisis, and then they talk about begrudgingly keeping nuclear power plants open instead of just opening more. If we opened like 2 more, 3 more of these things, California wouldn't have an energy problem anymore. But no, why do that? And what's funny is nuclear power, even though it's called nuclear power, nuclear, whatever, that word just has a lot of bad connotations to it, I guess. Nuclear power is a lot cleaner than coal power or, fossil fuels and stuff like that. It's cleaner. It's cleaner and produces more energy, but they don't want to use it. I don't know why. You tell me why. So California is falling apart, and they're enacting stupid laws in a state that I love so much. This state is just so great. There's everything here. We have deserts, forests, mountains. We have just all kinds of different areas to go and explore. This state is an amazing and beautiful place that they're letting get destroyed. I mean, look at all the wildfires that we've had recently, and a lot of them are because we fail to clean up the forest. We fail to go clean the debris out of the forest, and then we also let people do gender reveal parties and light shit on fire. People set off fireworks and they catches on fire because we're in the middle of a drought and everything's dried up. We have a lot of problems in the state. And meanwhile, they're talking. There's talk about Gavin Newsom running for president and stuff like that. Meanwhile, he can't even. What makes you think a man that can't control California can control the entire country? What makes you think that? He can't control California. What makes you think he's going to control the entire country? The man that forced all the businesses into a lockdown, shut us down for 2 years while he kept his businesses open, went out without mask, enjoyed dinners with his friends and stuff like that while all of us were forced to stay home. These people are turning us against each other while they also convince you to vote for things that are hurting you. And I don't know what else to do other than to talk about it like I am. If you care about this stuff as much as I do, please like, subscribe, share this video, show people just the absolute hypocrisy that's going on, show people the absolute nonsense that they're trying to put out between this minimum wage nonsense and the lack of nuclear power, the push of green energy, and the push of this nonsense with gas cars and energy like what's it called, the electric vehicles and stuff like that. All of this stuff is nonsense, and it's not good for California. You wonder why. People here wonder why. Why are people leaving the state in such great numbers? Maybe it's because you can't even call the cops on people that are stealing $1,500 worth of groceries. Maybe it's because the cops don't give a fuck about the state. The politicians don't give a fuck about the state. The teachers here don't even care about teaching. I mean, there's just so much wrong with this state, and day by day, it's getting worse. I've lived here my entire life. This state just gets worse every year, and I don't know if it's because I'm older and I notice it more, or if it's just a fact. I think it's a fact as time goes on, though. I think it's just a fact that California is becoming
something that no one wants it to be. Used to be an amazing state, used to be a great state. They used to call it the Golden State. Right now it's the dry state. It's the dry state with people leaving it that has droughts and energy problems. Well, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to try to get more videos out. You know, I'm trying to, like I said at the start of this video, I'm only trying to talk about things I actually care about. That's hard because there's just so much out in the world, and it's really hard to talk about some of it sometimes. But I'll keep making videos when I have time. I'll keep making videos when I have something to say. Like I said, I don't want to be putting out videos that I feel like isn't adding to the conversation, or just, you know, is pointless to make, or I feel like it will be boring. Videos like this, though, I don't think are boring. I feel pretty passionately about this stuff, and I think people should know about it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that people should know about, but stuff like this, for sure, people should know about. All right, have a good day. Follow me on Twitter, and peace out.